You're listening or watching on YouTube Live to episode 119 of Rochester's number one sports podcast, The Tan and J Man Show. The J Man, the Oscars were last night.
Yes.
What is your favorite all-time sports movie?
Man, that's a good question. Of course, we have Remember the Titans. That's a classic.
That is personally my favorite. That's my favorite movie.
Favorite movie of all time.
That is my favorite movie. Well, of course, knowing me, sports has probably got to be the genre of my favorite movie.
That's a fair point. Love Field of Dreams or something powerful, but that's just going out and having a catch with your pop. Moneyball. Love that one. Had a great movie quote. How can you not be romantic about baseball? An underrated one, though, I think is Glory Road. I used to watch that all the time.
Glory
when
Road's
I was
a good
in,
one.
Middle school. It's a good one. You have Major League, which has some laughs and all that. Friday Night Lights is pretty good. Really, most of them are pretty good. And, of course, you have The Sandlot for the nostalgia feel. But to pick one, man, I can't really even think of one.
Yeah, I would say it's got to be Remember the Titans. But there's a lot of good ones. I'm a big Major League fan.
That's a good
I even
one.
like Major League 2. I mean, Major League 2 is no Major League 1, but I like Major League 2. Miracle's a good one.
That's a good one, yeah.
Happy Gilmore's funny.
Yeah.
I'm a big Caddyshack fan. That's probably actually my second favorite. But you name a sport, I can probably name you a movie.
There hasn't really been a good sports movie in a while. 42 is pretty good with Jackie Robinson.
Yeah.
Of course, Moneyball was like 2011, I want to say.
Yeah.
But then you have a movie like Draft Day with Kevin Costner, which is pretty mediocre.
I never saw that movie.
It's mediocre. I wouldn't waste your time. Did you see any of the Best Picture nominees?
I didn't watch the Oscars at all, so I didn't. I
saw a few of them. Black Klansman was a good one. Saw that. Star is Born, great. Bohemian Rhapsody, great. Got an interesting factoid for you.
All right.
The winner of the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for his role in The Green Book, Mahershala Ali, played Division I college basketball at St. Mary's University, and his career at St. Mary's overlapped with Steve Nash at Santa Clara.
Really?
So they played against each other a few times a year, or at least once a year. He only averaged about 7 points a game his senior year. He was kind of a defensive-minded guard, but interesting factoid of the day from the J-Man.
It was. You added some...
I added something to the show.
You added something.
It's about time.
Speaking of added something to the show, did you bring a birdie or bogey question with you this week?
It's definitely going to be a bogey.
Oh, great.
Giannis Antetokounmpo,
the Greek Freak,
is averaging 26 points per game, 12 rebounds per game, 5 assists per game. There have been only 4 other players to do that for a full season. Name 2 of them.
Man, these NBA
all
questions
4 of them are Hall of Famers, as you can probably imagine.
These NBA questions get me every week.
And as always, Birdie or Bogey is sponsored by the Noble Gnome LLC. Fresh, locally grown, nutrient-dense produce from Tanner's cousin, Bryce, and his wife, Katie Romine.
You can like them on Facebook, the Facebook page, Noble Gnome LLC, or follow them on Instagram. So they also got a website, the noblegnomellc.com. Find out more information there. You can buy stocks of vegetables and produce. So go check them out.
Yes.
I got a little On This Day for you.
Bring it, man.
On This Day is brought to you by Spot On and John Mars. If your business takes credit cards, then you should call John and let Spot On take care of your needs. Low rates, transparent pricing, free processing equipment, no special fees, no contracts, and John Mars as your customer service representative. Time to be treated like you should, no matter your size. Call John at 574-835-1528 for a free quote today. Make your business run spot on. Ready to get educated, Josh?
I don't think that's possible.
On this day, on February 5th, I about said 4th.
2019 was the year.
Yes, but I'm just talking about in general sports history. Let's see what we got here.
While Tanner's pulling it up, I'd like to give a huge birthday shout out to my grandmother. It was yesterday. She turned 80 years young.
It's quite a milestone.
Yesterday, yeah. If I can even get to half her age, I'll be feeling pretty dang good about myself.
Yeah. So happy birthday, Josh's grandma.
Yes,
Belated
sir.
birthday. So on this day in 1962, a guy named Wilt Chamberlain of the NBA Philadelphia Warriors scored 67 points against the New York Knicks for a second straight year.
Wow.
That's putting up some points
The
back in
Knicks
the
were
day.
even sucking back then, huh?
On this day in 1964, a guy named Cassius Clay, a.k.a. Muhammad Ali, TKO'd Sonny Liston in 7 rounds for his first World Heavyweight Championship title. On this day in 1977, New Orleans guard Pete Maravich set the NBA scoring record for a guard, at least at the time, with 68 points.
That might still be
well,
unless
Kobe
you're calling,
was a 4, right? I mean, he's kind of the mix.
He was a 6'6". Guess you could call him a 2 guard. So
yeah. And on this day in 1991, Bruce McNall, Wayne Gretzky, and comedian John Candy bought the CFL's Toronto Argonauts.
Rest in peace, John Candy.
Yes, I thought that was interesting. And on this day in 1994, Phil Rizzuto was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. That's all I got.
It's kind of a rough time of year,
well,
sports-wise.
I mean, I had some recent Winter Olympics, but it was like last year.
Winter Olympics don't really excite me.
So I don't know. I didn't think they were that good, but
you prefer summer or winter Olympics?
Summer. Easily.
But
that is on this day, sponsored by John Mars and Spot On. So, I'm thankful we are Big Ten college hoop fans and not Pac-12 college hoop fans.
Yeah,
the Pac-12 race, I was looking at it. Washington's up 4 games. And they're definitely going to be the only team in the Pac-12 that makes it, unless somebody else wins the conference tournament.
Do they get at large if they don't win their
I still think they will.
I assume they will.
It would be unbelievable for a Power 5 conference not to get
Mike Hopkins has done a great job there. I mean, picking up Lorenzo Romar's mess from a few years ago. He's a former Boeheim assistant at Syracuse.
But we're looking at a conference. Big Ten's got to get 8 teams. Probably 8 teams, maybe 9.
There's only I would say 2 teams on the schedule right now you don't want to, or you do want to play if you're a good team. That's probably Northwestern and Nebraska, maybe.
How about Indiana?
I mean, Indiana, after the way they lost on Friday, maybe. But
they're playing harder, but they've lost, 12 of 13 or 13 of 14 now?
That's a fair point. Obviously, I wouldn't want to go to any of those places, but if you had to pick a place to play, it'd probably be one of those 2 or 3 teams.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. And Nebraska's playing for their lives right now. I mean, they play tough at home, but
I think they're done.
But their main schedule's all ranked teams.
Yeah.
So
well, if they win all of them, they're right back in it.
Well, you can almost say the same about Indiana.
I
mean, they play Wisconsin and Michigan State at home this week. Go to Illinois next week and play Rutgers at home. So
they probably have to win at least maybe all of them just to get back in the conversation.
Yeah, I would agree. And then probably got to make a little run in the Big Ten tournament, which I believe if it ended today, they would be in the 12-13 game against Penn State.
Have they ever had to play on Wednesday?
No, not since it started. They've had to play on Thursday. They played on Thursday last year, but they haven't had to play on Wednesday.
Have they ever had? They've had the double bye because they've won the conference with Tommy Boy back.
Yeah, they did not win the Big Ten tournament championship.
Right, but they got the double bye.
Mm-hmm. So they lost in the semifinals. I think the Wisconsin in the Big Ten tournament that year. Somebody beat them.
That one year, Michigan hit that last second 3. Was that?
I don't remember that.
It was Cam Chapman in the corner. I want to say that was 2000. That might have been that year. Yeah, because they were confident, and they were the 1 seed playing the winner of the 8-9.
That was on Friday.
Yeah, and Michigan hit that 3. Cam Chapman in the corner.
That's right. Then Purdue beat Michigan the next day, and then lost to Michigan State in the final.
Yeah, that was 2000.
So every time it looks like Purdue and IU are going to match up, they don't.
Yeah, they've never played
once in the very first, the inaugural one in 98, 97.
I think that year Illinois finished 10th in the Big Ten and made a run to the championship.
Made a run as a 10th seed in
then won the conference last year or the next year.
Yeah, we made a run in 08 as the 10th seed.
Yeah.
But no, it's interesting. I think it's going to be it could still be a 3-team race, but I think you're probably looking at 2 teams right now. Michigan's lost to Michigan State yesterday at home, hurt. especially with the upcoming game at Maryland. In 2 weeks, I don't know who they play this week. In 2 weeks, they play at Maryland and at Michigan State. Michigan State's remaining schedules at Indiana, Nebraska at home, Michigan at home. Purdue has Illinois and Ohio State at home, at Minnesota and at Northwestern. So they got 4 remaining games, whereas Michigan State have 3. Michigan has Nebraska at home this week. That's their only game, I think. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, if Purdue wins out, they at least get a share of the Big Ten title. But if they tie with Michigan State still gets the 1 seed because of overall record, even though they split the series. The same thing would happen with Michigan if they were tied. But if Purdue wins out, the worst they can do is tie for the conference and get a 2 seed, I believe, if they went out. So it's pretty remarkable for them to be in that position after starting off 6-5. And
yeah, I remember you sitting here a month and a half ago
them in December,
and right before kind of Big Ten play started back up, I said, "Man, I just don't see it because of the way the schedule's set up."
And it was huge for them to get Maryland a win against Maryland and Iowa early in December/January.
Yeah. That was without Luka Garza, right?
Yep. It was at Mackey.
Yeah.
And they beat Wisconsin up
at
there.
Wisconsin. That was kind of the start of it.
Yeah. So I mean, they got some early. I mean, but you look at Purdue's road wins in the Big Ten: at Wisconsin overtime, at Penn State overtime, Indiana by 2,
yeah.
Nebraska by 3, even though it was pretty much 6-point game. At Ohio State was, I think, ended up by be 11, but that was close till 2 minutes left. I'm trying to think where else have they played. They lost at all the M's so far: Michigan State, Maryland.
Maryland was a whooping. Second half.
Yes, it was. But so I mean, to win championships, you have to win on the road. You got to find ways, and it wasn't the prettiest by any means. The last 2 games last week, especially Carson Edwards, he's hit 1 of his last 20 from 3-point range.
Oh, he's due.
So he's due for some home cooking, and he's got a Illini team coming in. He put up 40 against last year. Yeah. We shall see, but I don't know. He's, against Indiana, he was forcing it. He was trying to get it going, but he did make 2 huge plays when they needed it bad at the end, 2 floater and a layup. But against Nebraska, he started off, hit his first 2 shots. Thought he was going to go nuts, and then he did not force. I mean, he shot smarter shots than he probably has all year. He just couldn't hit. I think he's in his own head. There was even a couple times he got the ball, a guy coming out like 5 feet on him. He'd usually not even think about it. All of a sudden, he pump faked or passed. It's like, okay, he's not. But other guys are stepping up. Matt Harmon's been playing good lately. Grady Eifert, if Purdue doesn't have Grady Eifert Saturday against Nebraska, they don't win that game. Ryan Klein's hitting some big threes. Their bench is just coming through, but they got to have their guy go. They can't keep playing, close to the edge with Carson playing this back, because they're not going to win that many games left. I mean, they're going to trip up sooner or later, but because if we've seen anything in the NCAA tournament, you can win by guard play. It's hard to win by post play. And you can have a guard carry you, and they're going to need him to wake up. But I think he's too good of a player not to wake up. We were talking about this earlier. I still think he's first team all conference. I don't think he's going to be Big Ten player of the year. I think Cassius Winston kind of sealed that with a 27.8 assist performance against the best defensive team in the league. And you might call me crazy. I'm starting to think Michigan State's better without Nick Ward. It changes their whole life. Yeah. Goins is playing awesome right now.
Yeah, Goings. I mean, he's only averaging maybe 8 points a game, but he's 10 rebounds, 2 blocks.
Him and McQuaid, the seniors, are stepping up,
hitting threes.
Time. Yep. But who would be your first team all Big Ten now?
Right now it would be
February 25th.
Cassius Winston,
yep.
Ethan Happ,
yep.
Carson Edwards. Yep. Then you have a guy like Lamar Stevens, who's been playing awesome here past month. I don't know if he'll get in just because of the team he plays on. Bruno Fernando's having a great year.
I think he has to be on there.
He's averaging a double-double. James Palmer Jr., no way.
How about Cook from Iowa?
Tyler Cook, Iowa fans hate him for some reason.
I think he might jump pro. I think he's that good.
I was talking to my uncle over the weekend. He said that he's gone.
Yeah.
He knows he's gone.
They're hurting everybody else.
Yeah. Cook could be. Bohannon, with the way he's playing, I mean, he doesn't have the numbers. I bet
he's second team,
but he's
clutch.
Some huge shots. You have a guy like Jordan Murphy and Amir Coffey. I mean, they're kind of borderline.
I would say it's between Cook and Stevens for that other position.
I would say so.
How about Xavier Simpson?
Xavier Simpson's their glue. He doesn't score a whole lot, but he's a great rebounder for his size, great defensive player, great passer. Media loves him, especially with that hook shot.
Media loves all the Michigan guys, but they're good. They're good. I think
I would
Michigan.
say Simpson makes it though.
I still think Michigan was better last year. I'm not saying that just because they made the championship game. I think Mo Wagner was that good.
Yeah, you add Mo to this,
and so was Abdul
level.
Oh Rama, he got clutch when he needed to be.
He was a good senior.
I don't know those. I'm not saying. I mean, anything can happen in a rivalry game. I was just really surprised Michigan State went in there and won yesterday.
This is a completely different Michigan team than last year because last year, really for Beilein's whole career, they've been offense. They could score at will. Defense wasn't nearly as good. They struggle scoring the ball this year. Yep. Their defense is great, best in the Big Ten. But eventually, you're going to have to start out scoring people. Yeah,
you will, and it's going to be interesting when they go to Maryland. I mean, that's I don't see them winning that. This Big Ten tournament, man, I can't wait. It's going to be exciting. Man. It's going to be crazy. Chicago, back in the Midwest. It's going to be nuts.
Finally, it was great to have it in New York, but it's nice to have it back.
It is. The next 5 years, it's rotating again. Yeah. We'll see what happens after that.
I prefer it in Indy.
I do too. I think it's a better, nicer
arena. Far better.
Nice arena. But want to pick some games? Big Ten?
Let's do it.
Got 2 games tomorrow. Iowa, number 22. Iowa at Ohio State. Ohio State's a 2-point favorite.
Yeah, I could see that. As we've been saying for a few weeks now, this Ohio State team's not good.
They're 17-10.
Iowa has not been playing well either, but they've won 3 of 4. They've found ways to win against 4 of the bottom teams in the conference, besides, of course, Maryland in there. But give me Iowa on the road by 7.
I like Iowa on the road as well. Number 19, Wisconsin at Indiana. Wisconsin's a 3-point favorite.
This will be the J-Man's Book It prediction of the week. I think the Hoosiers get it done at home. For whatever reason, I don't really like this Wisconsin team. Hap doesn't play in the final 3 minutes if they have a lead. Davison and Trice and Reavers continue to hit big shots for them. But IU's due for something good to happen, and I hope it happens this week and not next week.
I'm taking Wisconsin. What mental states IU got to be in?
Right.
I mean, I don't know how you keep positive. And the fans aren't positive right now.
Yeah, they could just phone it in because they outplayed
Wisconsin
Iowa.
In the last decade has owned Indiana, especially when Crean was there. I like Wisconsin, but I think it'll be a close game.
Yeah. As always, the J-Man's Book It prediction of the week, sponsored by Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent Travis Watering.
And Travis is going to be in studio with us next Monday for episode 120. He's going to be our guest, so it'll be fun to break down some sports with him. He'll probably have some Buckeye basketball factoids to share with us. So it'll be nice to have Travis, the J-Man's Book It prediction of the week sponsor.
Speaking of Ohio State, I'm just going to talk about this a little bit.
No, go for it.
So I was in Iowa this weekend, and we went to go see my mom's alma mater play, Bettendorf High School. It's a beautiful high school, probably the nicest I've ever been in, to be honest. And we went mainly because it was one of their sectional games, because they have a top 35 player in the class of 2019, DJ Carton, 6'2" point guard. He's going to be a pain. Obviously, playing against high school kids, you don't really see how good he can be because he's just so much better. But ridiculous athlete. My mom leaned over to me with about 2 minutes left in the first quarter, and he hadn't scored a point yet. I said, man, he hasn't done anything. Then he had 4 straight possessions where he had 3 dunks and then a ridiculous reverse alley-oop. Great passer, too. Seems very unselfish. He probably had 7 or 8 assists, and they just blew out Davenport North. But it's going to be a good 4-year point guard there, lefty, too.
Yeah, Holtman
really only shot outside of 10 feet once, and he bricked a 3. So I don't know if he's a good shooter or not, but great athlete.
Holtman's got the best player in Illinois, Iowa, and Ohio coming in next year.
Yeah,
so
dude can recruit. It'll be interesting to see if he can coach them.
Why? Ohio State's always got – I know they got great facilities and everything, but I don't know how they get these recruits because their game day environment sucks.
Right.
And it's a football school. Always going to be a football school. I don't get – but Holtman's the 3rd highest paid coach in the nation.
Is he really?
$7.1 million per year.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's a lot
I just looked it up the other day.
Yeah, their fan base doesn't give a whole lot of care to Ohio State basketball. As he said, even watching them on TV, they're not overly loud.
I don't know.
Student section is not great, but they have the facilities, and that football money brings in some good coaches.
Yeah, it does. It
Greg
does.
Paul is still there. Do you know? I don't remember
I
seeing him on the bench.
Don't think he is. Dockage is now. He's a grad assistant.
Oh, he is?
Dockage. Yeah. So, all right, back to the games. Wednesday night. This could be an interesting game. 17 Maryland at Penn State.
Dude, Penn State's playing really freaking well right now. They took it to Illinois. Lamar Stevens is having a great year.
Think that's gonna be a physical game?
Oh man, yeah. Josh Reeves, great defensively. Mike Watkins, I did not know this. Found this out on Saturday. He's been diagnosed with like a borderline personality disorder and bipolar. So you don't really know what you're going to get half to half, but he was freaking phenomenal on
Like
Saturday.
he didn't get technical at one point for
Yes,
punching the
that was
padding.
But anyway, I think old Penn State gets her done.
I'll take Maryland in a close one, but it would not shock me. Penn State's house of horrors for ranked teams.
Yeah. Greg Paulus is an assistant at George Washington University.
Would have never guessed that. So, Illinois at number 14, Purdue, late 8:30 Wednesday night game.
Kind of an interesting matchup. Illinois has probably the at least offensive advantage down low, but the guard advantage is major. Obviously, Carson would be the best player on the court, but Nogel Eastern is much like Josh Reeves, and Reeves really shut down Ayo Dosunmu. Dosumu's line looked a lot better than he actually played, and I think he ended up with 18 points, but a lot of it was late where he was just forcing stuff up.
Well, that's what you got to do with him. He's got to get his. You have to just force him into tough shots.
Right.
And that's what defenses have been doing with Carson lately, double teaming him, making him take tough threes because he will. He'll take them.
He usually makes them, though.
And he's not making them. So, I mean, it's not that he's not getting shots up. He is. He's just not hitting.
I mean, Klein's a huge upgrade over DeMonte Williams. And Eifert and Aaron Jordan are fairly similar. Both
Aaron Jordan's probably better.
Well, he's more athletic.
Grady just, like you said, Purdue does. Yeah, there's 3 or 4 games they don't win this year.
I mean, they're kind of similar in the fact they do the hustle plays, take charges, they can rebound.
Yeah.
The only difference is Eifert's a walk-on, and Aaron Jordan, for some godforsaken reason, was a top 100 recruit.
Yeah.
But I think Purdue wins to get to my prediction.
No,
I don't think I've said it yet.
I
think something like 81-70 or so.
Illinois is 1-7 on the road this year. Purdue's 13-0 at home.
Yeah, and
Illinois hasn't won there since 2008.
I was there. It was great.
I like Purdue, but I think it will be a close game for a majority, and Purdue pulls out late.
If Illinois doesn't force turnovers, teams shoot like 60% on them. Purdue doesn't turn the ball over. I could honestly see Purdue possibly scoring 100 points. If
I don't know.
It'll
be interesting. It's
going
to be an interesting game.
Illinois might be a little deeper.
I'm interested to see Georgie against Harms. Talk about two guys who are other fan bases don't like, and they love playing the game. Yeah. Both of them just are energetic dudes.
I don't think Travion would be able to handle Georgie at all, but Harms is 4 inches taller. And he'll have the quickness advantage probably. Georgie has great footwork because of his dancing and all that.
Number 12 for Illinois could be, I don't know his name. 12.
Who's number 12?
The backup center from. He might be an X factor.
He sucks so much.
I saw him miss a tip slam the other day. I thought it was impressive. He got in there.
He got about 4 inches off the ground. He got fouled.
Well, it might come down to Purdue Illinois games typically come down to some reserve. So I'm calling right now, Sasha Stevanovic is going to have a good game.
I can see it. It's always some little shithead. That does something for Purdue.
John Hart
annoys the crap out
Peyton
of me.
Grant, John Hart, Ryan Smith.
Man.
Yeah.
But Purdue, fairly big.
Thursday night, Nebraska at number 9, Michigan.
Oh, Michigan by 27, man. Penn State took Nebraska to the absolute woodshed last week.
I mean, gave Purdue everything they wanted, but it was at home.
They're a lot better at home, obviously.
That's a good home environment.
It is, but they had like the longest home win streak in the Big Ten or something like that up until like a month ago. Now they've lost like 4 out of 6.
Yeah. I like Michigan fairly easily. Minnesota at Northwestern Thursday night.
Man, Minnesota, this is a must-win for them. I mean, they're right on that line, kind of even sneaking towards being out.
This is their only game this week. They
have to win it. But you know what? Northwestern's lost 8 in a row. I hope they get one before they come to Champaign on Sunday.
I take Minnesota on this one.
Northwestern 48-47.
48-4. That
was that
48-46 was
pretty
it.
much.
It's funny. Last week we said Ohio State Northwestern was going to be the most boring game in Big Ten
Yeah.
history. And Purdue Indiana was right there.
You know, for as low scoring as it was, I was thoroughly entertained by it.
It was a physical basketball.
Yeah,
game.
they
the refs
let him
let him
play.
play.
Harms probably didn't deserve the technical for when he got it, but he probably should have on the hook and hold earlier in the game.
And my problem with that was he teed them both up. He pointed to Davis and pointed out, and then they took it away. I'm like, they said he bowed up, and he did kind of flex a little, but he needs to start just speaking Dutch out there, and they wouldn't be able to understand him.
But the hook and hold, he probably deserved it far more than.
I don't know if he deserves a chance that came his way, but it's all good. I've heard them say other things to Purdue players too. Not that bad, but I still can't repeat what they said.
I love the Maryland chant Isaac Haas last year.
You are ugly.
You know,
and
people got so pissed off about that, but now after hearing what they said to Harms, I don't really care about that.
Michigan State at Indiana Saturday.
Give me Sparty on the road.
Think he get some revenge?
I think so. I don't think Izzo lets them lose that one. And it'll be interesting, you know, if Indiana gets a win against Wisconsin on Tuesday, that place will probably be back to being rocking. It should anyway with Michigan State coming to town. But give me Sparty by 7.
I like Michigan State on the road. I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I think they get it done. Penn State at Wisconsin.
Oh, man.
You're on that Penn State wagon, aren't you?
Dude, they've been playing great
hard.
basketball here.
Chambers might end up saving his job.
Give me Wisconsin, a really close one at home. I think Penn State could go in there and get her done. But I think Wisconsin, 64-62.
I like Wisconsin as well. Ohio State at Purdue for Purdue Senior Day.
Purdue by 17. I just don't think Ohio State will keep it particularly close.
Yeah, I think
they got them last year, though.
Yeah, and that's why a point I was getting to. I'm glad you brought that up. If Purdue beats Illinois on Wednesday, they could try to it'd be the third team ever to go undefeated in Mackey. And those seniors and even the juniors and sophomores, anybody who was on the team last year probably remembers that game last year. Yeah. Ohio State team that was far better last year, and probably wants some revenge.
The player of the league.
So I like Purdue by double digits.
Player of the league. That's not even a legitimate
player of the year.
Player of the year in the league.
Rutgers at Iowa Saturday night.
Rutgers playing a lot better, but Hawks at home.
Yeah, Rutgers should have had him.
They should. I mean,
that's just a shot you don't hit.
Really,
100 more times he could shot that 100 times. Nobody guarding him. I don't know if he hits it.
Yeah.
That way.
Really, you can't be pissed off at the team or mad at the team.
I don't know how the ball got to him, and I still don't know how it got.
And
I
don't know how with the angle that it.
Nope. It's been Iowa's year lately. Great game on Sunday. Number 9, Michigan at 17, Maryland.
Give me the Terps at home. I think they out-rebound Michigan quite a lot.
Yeah.
It will be interesting because Iggy Brazdeikis kind of plays the 4. And will Bruno be able to guard him? Because, I mean, Bruno's bigger. Or
unless it would Justin on him.
Probably Jalen Smith.
I'll go Justin Smith. Jalen Smith.
On him, and they're kind of more a better match.
Yeah, I like Maryland home. I think they're playing really good basketball. They're going to be dangerous in the Big Ten tournament, dangerous in the NCAA tournament.
Second youngest team in the Big Ten, too.
I think they lose at least Fernando, maybe Smith as well to the pros, but Cohen's playing really well. And Northwestern at Illinois Sunday night.
I think Illinois gets that one done. They'll be fresh off 3 losses in a row. Northwestern team that just can't score. They'll be wanting to get revenge on them, and I think they get it done at home by 9.
Yeah, I think Illinois gets revenge on this one. You've been saying all year you were wishing they would play Northwestern now, play Northwestern now.
Now
they get them. I think they take care of business at home. Senior Day? No,
Indiana Senior Day. Yeah.
All right, a few ranked games. We won't go through them all by any means, but right now there's one going on that includes a team we talk about every week. Notre Dame's at Florida State. Notre Dame's down 6-5.
Notre Dame, I believe, lost at home to Wake Forest.
They did after we ripped Wake Forest last week, and then they played Virginia hard at home and lost.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Give me the first team, Florida State.
Yeah, Florida State ends up winning this one on the road pretty easily. Big game in Lawrence, Kansas tonight. Number 16, Kansas State, who beat Kansas earlier this year at 15, Kansas.
If Kansas State gets her done tonight, Kansas will not win the. I'm going to pick Texas Tech to win the.
They're one game behind Kansas State right now.
I'll never trust the Bruce Weber team. But I think Kansas gets it done at home.
I do too.
By 12.
If Kansas State beats them
especially
it'd be first time since like the 50s.
Especially coming off a 30-point loss at Texas Tech.
Number 3, Duke at number 20, Virginia Tech. You missed your J-Man's book prediction week last week, but you didn't think their best player was going to rip his shoe out 36 seconds.
That was weird, wasn't it?
I don't know what to make of it still. I mean, it's going to hurt Nike a little bit, but Nike's such a powerhouse.
I just think it was kind
of a freak accident.
It was so freaky. I mean, he's 280 pounds, putting a ton
you know
of
what shoe
on
he was wearing, right?
It was a Paul George.
Paul George, and Paul George called Nike the next day because he's probably concerned about his own leg, which I don't blame him.
Paul George has the highest selling shoe at Nike.
You know, the dude's having a phenomenal year this year. So,
no Zion again. Give me Virginia Tech at home.
You know, I kind of like the Hokies here too. Duke could end up slipping to the 2 seed.
Be scary too. I'd still pick them to win it all.
They're scary no matter what they are. I'm going to take the Hokies as well. Syracuse at number 5, Carolina.
Carolina's up to 5 now. Give me the Tar Heels at home.
Yeah, I like Carolina as well. Syracuse is in a really tough predicament right now with their coach. Good one, a really good one. SEC on Saturday. Number 4, Kentucky at number 7, Tennessee. Kentucky just whooped them 2 weeks ago.
Tennessee finally starting to play a schedule. They had
waking up a little bit.
Controversial loss at LSU over the weekend. Give me the Wildcats go in there and get her done.
I think Kentucky's right there up with Duke playing the best basketball.
Yeah, they're playing great.
I think they're going to be a 1 seed when all comes said and done. I like Kentucky. UCF with Taco Fall. 20-6, take their record on the road to Houston, number 8 in the nation.
That's game day.
Is it game day?
Yes.
Cool.
Give me the Cougs at home.
You know, this is going to be a Houston team that a lot of people are going to pick for a dark horse Final Four team. They have the talent to do so. I can also see them slipping up in the first or second round, kind of like Wichita State that one year. But I'm going to take Houston in this game. That's really, I mean, there's not that good matchups this week. So that's all I got for matchups.
Some more college basketball news. Sean Miller and Will Wade will be subpoenaed in the FBI probe of college basketball. Will Wade's kind of a new name, but you kind of look at it, kind of makes sense because he went to LSU, turned him around awfully quick. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, Miller and Drew.
I think Miller's gone. So.
Both Miller boys not having a good year.
It's been a rough year in the Miller household.
Why don't you hit on some spring training before we get to the end segment of the show?
Baseball is pretty much underway, with the spring here.
Finally got some big names signing somewhere.
Manny Machado signing with the Padres.
Good move.
Love it, man.
Okay. You know who's not happy? The White Sox fans.
Yes.
They signed their whole family, and it didn't help them.
Well, it backfired on them because Yonder Alonso and John Jay both played in San Diego, and they told him how much they loved it. So it backfired for the White Sox. But I absolutely love it. They have the best farm system in baseball. Now sign a premier third baseman. They'll be pretty good. And it sounds like a Bryce Harper could decide within the week. Sounds like he's down to the Phillies. Dodgers are back in it. And Giants. And if he goes to the Dodgers, it'd be a short.
When did they come in the mix? I haven't heard them at all.
Really, for the past month.
So Nationals are out.
Nationals are out.
There goes my Harper jersey.
We knew the Cubs were out in November. Yeah. White Sox are out. They were
I knew they were
mentioned. Yeah. So finally, the dominoes are starting to fall. Chris Bryant, obviously, it's so early.
That was a nice homer,
but just to see him do well in his first 3 at bats, we forget how good of a year he was having. He was having MVP type year until he hurt his shoulder. Yep. Wilson Contreras today hit a long 3-run homer. That's huge to see because he was so bad in the second half.
Thoughts on Addison Russell getting back in the lineup? Because he's still got 20 games left of his suspension, or 25,
20,
or something
30, something like
that.
But
thoughts on his status with the organization?
I've been on record saying I want him gone. He spoke to the
media.
You
are a guy that believes in giving people second chances,
sure. But the way he's been handling it with the media, he's been talking, and he's saying the wrong freaking things. Shut up. He needs to shut up. I mean, he needed to say something publicly because being quiet for a year and a half. But then when he spoke, he was so robotic, and it is what it is.
I don't follow the Cubs, of course, as close as you. I mean, I follow them a little bit because everybody loves them around here, but. Do they need him that much anymore?
Nah, no. Man. I'm on board with letting Javi just run with the shortstop position. I wouldn't give Russell his spot back. I mean, maybe play him at second, but just let Javi go do his thing out there. I mean, they have Ben Zobrist that can play second, Descalzo, Ian Happ, David Bodie. I mean, and at least Bodie can fill in at short.
Hey, got the Happ right. I had to think about that.
Yeah, Ian.
I was thinking, is it Ian or Ethan?
So
Could be glad when I don't have to worry
it'll
about that
be
next
interesting. I'm starting to, for a while, I was like, I'm not looking forward to the season at all, just with the way last season ended and with them not doing much this offseason. But, now that they're starting to play, I'm starting to get into it. And John Lesser looked great today, I guess, struck out 3 in 2 innings. And they have that new rule proposal that they're trying in spring with the pitch clock.
What do you think about that?
I don't really care, to be honest.
It doesn't
I'm
make the game that
much quicker.
But,
Lester said today, or they asked him about it, and he said, yeah, I saw it, whatever makes people feel better. Because, I mean, if you have a good product on the field, people will come and watch it. If you don't, they won't. And speeding up the game's not going to change it too much. It's not going to bring in new fans that so it is what it is.
Yeah, I got a few other baseball topics I want to talk. Manny Machado, one of my dad's friends, big baseball fan. I was texting with him. I said, this reminds me a lot when Robinson Cano went out to Seattle and became forgotten because the media doesn't cover him. But since Machado is a history maker as of now with a $300 million contract, I think the media will cover him more than Cano got covered in Seattle.
Southern California is obviously a much bigger market. And I've heard more about the Padres over the past decade, really, than I have about the Mariners at all.
But
for whatever reason.
But the Padres, I mean, literally, that's a team a year ago, 2 years ago. I could name at least somebody on every team except them. They've been so bad for so long.
But they have a great farm system. Fernando Tatis Jr.
I mean,
coming up. They have some pitchers that are coming up.
But this helps them to get in the mainstream to the average baseball fan like me, not the diehard like you who know the prospects and everything.
Yeah. I have another trivia question for you. There are 4 teams that have not made the postseason this decade. Can you name them?
Padres.
Padres are one of them.
This decade.
Mariners are one of them.
That's because that goes back to like 01. Yeah. Twins? No. Oh man. White Sox?
White Sox are one of them. I'm going to have to go look the other one up because I saw it the other day and I was going through the
not the Angels.
Not the Angels, no. Trying to think of the divisions. Orioles have, Rays have, Blue Jays have, Red Sox, Yankees. Royals, obviously.
Mets
Tigers, Mets.
Phillies
have. 2011, I want to say.
Marlins.
Marlins are the other one that have not made it. So there's their 4. Yeah. Marlins haven't made it since they won in 2003.
How much do you think Manny Machado's contract will affect a player like Nolan Arenado, who's trying to – because the Rockies now are thinking, oh, crap.
Yeah, it definitely sets kind of a baseline.
Because both of those sites have been handling the contract really well. I mean, they're in constant communication. He's not where he said, hey, if it doesn't get done before the season, so what? Blackman got his deal done halfway through the year last year. Doesn't have to. I mean, ideally they'd like it to, but I don't think it's going to
Nolan's
happen.
A much better player than
he is, but I'm just
I'm saying the Manny Machado.
Yeah, no, I agree with that too. But
so it'll be interesting. If he wants to, maybe he'll give him a little bit of a hometown discount.
Yeah. Well, he said he doesn't expect a 10-year deal because he's 27 years old.
Well, Machado's
26, but Nolan's gonna be 28 soon.
He'll be,
he said he even said himself he doesn't expect that kind of year length, but money wise, it's gonna be interesting.
He's gonna get a lot of it from somebody. Yep. Who knows if it's the Rockies or not?
Rockies got to try to do everything.
They're gonna have to, or it could get ugly there.
Speaking of a former Rocky that was kind of faced their franchise one time, made a ton of money. Troy Tulowitzki, first at bat today, went deep for the Yankees. Pretty cool.
And he blew out his groin.
I wouldn't have been surprised, but we'll see if I think he'll make the roster, but we'll see if he plays much outside of DH. I don't know. Yeah. It's still weird to see him and DJ LeMahieu in the Yankees uniform.
Forgot LeMahieu was there.
Yeah, it's weird, but baseball's back.
Yes, sir. Any more baseball?
Unless you got any more. I have more today than I normally do.
Got some NFL news. Robert Kraft.
He got a 7th ring.
He got a 7th ring. You guys haven't heard? At a discount massage parlor. Picked up a misdemeanor for soliciting a prostitute.
Caught him on video.
and it was the morning of the AFC Championship game.
I don't think you can get this out of this one. This is bad.
This is
a
pretty
bad
bad.
look on New England.
New England,
What a classy organization.
yeah, seriously. I mean, they had a murderer for a tight end. You have freaking Edelman pumping himself full of steroids. You have
Brady deflating balls.
Brady deflating balls and destroying evidence. A cell phone.
Hernandez killing people.
That's what I said.
Oh, you said that's what-
tight end. That's a killer.
McDaniels is a cheater.
Yeah, they've been
Just
cheating forever.
spying.
Yeah. So it's gonna. It won't prevent them from winning because they've been dealing with crap like this always. But
Yeah.
it's good to see them being in trouble again. And I read that Robert Kraft is not the most famous person to be busted in this thing.
Yeah.
But supposedly they have no one else. It was a rumor.
Yeah.
I was hoping. You know what scared me is that maybe it was Dan Marino there because it was in Florida.
That wouldn't be good.
It wouldn't surprise me though.
Yeah. No. But all right. NFL. What else we got? I know I got my mock draft ready, but I didn't know if we had anything else we need to cover before I do
That's
this. It's
it.
got to take a couple.
Combines this week.
It is this week. That's what brings me to my mock draft.
Who knows if Kyler Murray is going to throw or run? I wish he would, but it sounds like he won't. So,
Well, we ready for the Tanner Lee mock draft 1.0?
let's hear it.
This is the first of what will be 3 mock drafts, and I did no trades. I don't. That's just
You
too much.
can't
I
do that
think.
with mocks. Yeah.
So, and some of these teams might not even need the position. What I did was I
Dude.
studied about 5 or 6 and made it my
Best
own.
player available. That's the way you got to do it.
With the first pick, Arizona Cardinals, Nick Bosa, defensive end
Ooh,
from
yeah.
Ohio State.
A lot better than Joey.
Number 2, San Francisco 49ers get an edge rusher from Kentucky, Josh Allen.
Dude, he's a beast.
They will have a nasty defense.
Oh,
A
yeah.
guy like him. New York Jets, defensive tackle from Alabama, Quinnen Williams. Number 4, Oakland Raiders go with an edge defensive end from Clemson, Cleveland Farrell, yeah. This is where I struggled here. I might have reached a little bit, but Tampa Bay goes with defensive tackle from Houston, Ed Oliver.
Dude, Ed coming into the year was a projected
I know
number 1 overall.
So
Be
my
a
first
steal.
5 picks are all defense.
Love it.
But with the 6th pick, finally go offense. New York Giants get their future quarterback, Dwayne Haskins
Winner.
from Ohio State. Number 7, you're probably thinking Jacksonville going quarterback. I have them getting Nick Foles free agency.
There you go.
So I have them going defensive tackle from Michigan, Rashawn Gary,
Oh yeah, he's beast.
which some mocks have him in the 20s. But number 8, I have the Detroit Lions getting a guy I would love Denver to get. Don't think he'll be there. Cornerback from LSU, Greedy Williams.
He's long, 6'3",
Just seems like a corner for Detroit. They always have lengthy cornerbacks.
with a name like Greedy.
Number 9, Buffalo Bills. I have them getting an offensive tackle from Alabama, Jonah Williams.
Boring.
Yeah, but it's the Bills. Number 10, the Denver Broncos. I went back and forth. They need defensive backs, but if this guy's here, I think they have to take him. Devin White, linebacker from LSU.
Especially with McCall leaving in free
Shane
agency.
Ray, most likely.
Well, and Brandon Marshall, right?
Yeah, and maybe even Shaq Barrett. I mean,
Yeah.
so pair him with Vaughn and Bradley Chubb. Dangerous. This one I struggled with the 11th pick, the Cincinnati Bengals, because a lot of people said they need linebacker, but I couldn't find one I liked. So I'm going offensive tackle, Jawan Taylor from Florida.
Did you see Coach Lou Anarumo?
I did. Good for him.
Arumo,
He
yeah.
was a defensive backs coach with Purdue in 2011 while I was the manager. Scary guy.
Defensive coordinator
So
now for
he
the Cincinnati
worked his
Bengals.
way up
Yeah, man.
big time.
Well, it's kind of funny. Zach Taylor, who's their new head coach,
yeah. Oh,
when
that's right.
when the Dolphins
Mhm.
fired Joe Philbin, they also fired their offense and defensive
Mhm.
coordinator. Zach Taylor became the Dolphins' offensive coordinator. Coach Lou became the defensive coordinator. So they
That's
kind of
right.
have that as a connection.
It'll be interesting to see how he does. Number 12, the Green Bay Packers, which is it's weird seeing them pick up this high.
I love it.
Have them get an edge rusher from Mississippi State, Montez Sweat.
He dominated that. It was either him or another one of their. They had a great defensive line, but he dominated that Iowa bowl game.
Yes, he did. This brings me to the Miami Dolphins. I almost went with the best punter available,
That would have been great,
FMT.
man. They need one.
but quarterback Heisman Trophy winner Kyler Murray.
If they draft Kyler Murray, I guarantee you he will decide to play baseball, and it will screw them for years.
I think they go quarter. I really think they go quarterback.
and if
if
Kyler
him
Murray
or Haskins, which I
or
haven't seen him
Haskins
fall that far in any of the mocks.
are not there, I wait. I don't want to. I mean, I'm going to give the guy a chance because I don't know what I'm talking
You don't
about.
want Drew Lock.
But honestly, I'd prefer Drew Lock much more than Daniel Jones at Duke because he had such a bad week at
Mhm.
Senior Bowl.
Yeah, I thought you'd be happy with that one, though.
I love it.
Number 14, the Dirty Birds, Atlanta Falcons. I have them going offensive guard Cody Ford from Oklahoma. They really need line help.
He's like
Bad.
340 pounds.
Yeah. Number 15, I have the Redskins getting their future quarterback in Drew Lock from Missouri.
They need to start thinking that way.
Yeah, because
they should have done it for a few years.
If Alex Smith's going to be back with his leg injury.
Who knows if he'll walk again?
Number 16, a guy that's rising up draft boards, and we haven't even got to the combine yet. I have the Panthers taking offensive tackle from Kansas State, Dalton Reisner.
Never heard of him.
This is number 17, Cleveland Browns. I have Baker getting another weapon. Wide receiver from Ole Miss, DJ Metcalf.
Ooh. He's tall.
Yeah, he's good. A lot of good wide receivers in this draft. Number 18, I have the Vikings taking the guys I really can't pronounce. You should know him. He played offensive tackle for West Virginia. Yadni Kajust. That's my best pronunciation.
Kajust.
Number 19, Tennessee Titans. I have them going defense tackle from The Ohio State University, Draymond Jones. Number 20, Pittsburgh Steelers. They might need a playmaker, but I'm going with an inside linebacker from Alabama, Mac Wilson.
Mac, love the name.
21, I got the Seahawks giving Russell Wilson a weapon of J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, wide receiver from Stanford.
Interesting.
I have another wide receiver going off the board at 22 to Baltimore. Lamar Jackson really needs a wide receiver. They released Michael Crabtree today. A.J. Brown from Ole Miss. So I have two wideouts from Ole Miss. Then I have another Ole Miss guy going 23 to Houston, Greg Little, offensive tackle.
Ole Miss loaded.
They were
sucking.
Hugh Freeze cheated his butt off to get all these recruits. Was that Hugh Freeze?
Yeah, Hugh Freeze.
Number 24, the Oakland Raiders have another first-round pick. They got this in the Khalil Mack trade from Chicago. I have them going with linebacker from Michigan, Devin Bush.
I wonder if the Bears feel good about that trade.
I think they felt pretty good. Number 25, Philadelphia Eagles. I have them taking a guy I really like, DeAndre Baker, cornerback from Alabama.
You haven't fallen down that far, huh, Mr. Kuiper?
Number 26, the Indianapolis Colts. I don't know that they have already two pretty good tight ends, but I have them getting another one. TJ Hawkinson from Iowa.
The beast. McShay, I think it was McShay today, said Hawkinson's the safest player in the draft.
I've seen some mocks have him going 10 to Denver.
Yeah, he was great Friday. They had two really good ones.
Noah Fant. Yeah. I almost had him in the first round. Couldn't put two Iowa tight ends in the
He'd
first.
Go early in the second.
I almost had him going 32nd to New England.
That's tight end university.
Almost had him going to be Gronk's replacement if Gronk retires. Number 27th pick, Oakland Raiders from the Amari Cooper trade with Dallas. I'm going with Byron Murphy, cornerback from Washington. He had a really good bowl game. Number 28, LA Chargers of Carson City. Jerry Tillery, defensive tackle from Notre Dame.
He was great at Notre Dame.
I had Carson Celery. Yeah. I don't even like celery.
I hate celery. It sucks.
29th pick, Kansas City Chiefs. I have them taking Lonnie Johnson, cornerback from Kentucky.
Lonnie
Johnson. This draft class is loaded with defensive talent. Loaded.
Good.
30th pick, Green Bay's got another first-round pick. They got this from a trade with New Orleans. Hakeem Butler, wide receiver from Iowa State.
He's like 6'5". He had a great bowl game against the team.
Aaron Rodgers needs another weapon. I mean,
he
needs quite a few things. LA Rams with the 31st pick. I have them taking Christian Wilkins, defensive tackle from Clemson. And with the 32nd pick, wrapping up the first round and ending Tanner Lee's mock draft 1.0.
Mercifully,
I have the Patriots going with their future quarterback, Daniel Jones from Duke.
Interesting presentation.
And that wraps up my mock draft.
You need to save that one so we can go back and just rip it when
it's saved.
Like one of those picks is correct.
And I bet you my one. That's giving me probably more kudos than I deserve.
Kuiper doesn't really get them right very often.
No, it's tough. It's fun to do. So 2.0 will be landing here. Give me 2 or 3 weeks.
Yes, sir.
Birdie Bogey.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek Freak, is averaging 26 points per game, 12 rebounds per game, 5 assists per game. 4 other players have done it for a full season. Name 2 of them.
Man, oh man.
Oh, man.
It's the rebounds that's getting me, the 12 boards per game. 26 points, 5 assists.
They're all pretty dang good
boards.
Players.
Man. Oh, they're all Hall of Famers.
Yes,
All
sir.
4.
All 4 of them.
Oh, crap. Tim Duncan?
No.
Dang it. Garnett?
No.
Oh, God. It's probably older.
It is.
Kareem?
Kareem's one of them.
Okay. The assist is where I didn't know about him with the assist. McHale?
No.
Parrish?
No.
Shoot. Wilt?
Wilt
Yeah,
is
I mean,
one of
God,
them.
those are
You want to keep going? You have 2 more.
Those are no brainers, Tanner. Why didn't you start with those 2, you idiot? Bill Russell.
No. Wow. Bill didn't get the points.
That surprises me though. I honestly don't know.
Big O, Oscar Robertson.
I wouldn't have guessed him. 12 rebounds. That was hard.
This is the one you probably wouldn't have got. Elgin Baylor. Hall of Famer, but you don't really hear about him.
Man, I really need to. I got a triple bogey. Quadruple. I got a quadruple bogey. I really need to.
I thought I brought it this week.
You did. You brought it. You brought that. You brought some other interesting factoids. So why don't you take us home here for episode 119?
That was episode 119 of the Tan and J-Man Show. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors. Fraunfelter Dental Clinic, Noble Gnome LLC, Spot On with John Mars and Travis Watchering, streaming on SoundCloud, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, as well as Google Play,
Spotify.
Forget about that
We're on
one.
about every social media platform you can think of.
Yes, sir.
Streaming live on YouTube.
Thanks for whoever checked us out on YouTube.
One person who watched the whole time.
Thanks, Webby.
I don't know. I don't know if it was. I don't know. Whoever it was didn't comment. But yeah, every week. I don't want to say every week it's going to be at 6:30, but most weeks we'll plan on around 6:30. So hop on and join us on YouTube and give us some questions and comments. So, but with that said, we'll be back next Monday for episode 120 of Rochester's #1 sports podcast, the Tan and J-Man Show, with Travis Watchering in the house.